Too Naked to Hide by Nina J. Course. As you can see, an independent podcast. Chapter 3. Morning, the throat chakra and the barefoot. Find me at www.toonaked.me. His cell phone rang before he even got to the hallway. He got back, closed the door, sighted, and extracted the phone from his shirt pocket under his coat. A hell of a day, that's for sure.
Ah, good morning.
The voice at the other end of the line sounded a bit surprised, as if the person calling didn't know who was going to pick up. Oh, Mrs. Panyan, good day to you. I was about to call you to thank for...
Oh, doesn't matter. It's a ghastly day today, ghastly.
A hell of a day. He looked at the clock on the wall. It was 9 and he had an appointment at the courthouse with his secretary at 9:15. Plus, he didn't know what to say to Mrs. Panyan feel better. He was sincerely sorry for her husband's condition, but had no idea how could offer her any comfort, didn't know what to say. It's the throat chakra, the one that allows you to say the words you want, to convey your thoughts to the world. This one. And she had touched some indistinct spot on his throat while he rested his head on her lap. She, legs crossed, her hand scented with the citrus oil she had used to massage his face, shoulders, and chest, was telling him about chakras with a sort of reserve, as if fearing to be made fun of, but still went on with her calm voice, touching his face, neck, and shoulders, easing the tension of his muscles. Jacopo has found peace, but words, which then had seemed to glide away like her hands over his skin, had now burst out, all of a sudden, through chakras. She would have known what to tell Mrs. Panyan. Mrs. Panyan!
No, listen, you have got to help me now. See, because I really don't know what to do now.
Yes, of course, I understand completely. Don't worry.
Of course I'm not worried, damn it. It's been 10 years I've been married. It's time to get it done with. His first wife was totally right. I want a divorce now. I can't stand it a minute longer.
I'm sorry? He couldn't believe his own ears. He sat on the green sofa. His apartment, with the windows shut and the air conditioning off, was warming up fast.
Divorce, you understand? I must absolutely ask for a divorce. He's an impossible man, and don't come telling me that his condition makes any difference. I had already made up my mind that it was about time to leave him. You understand? Can you come over for a consultation, maybe tomorrow?
Oh, she's gone nuts. Or I didn't get it, and it is getting to my head. Mrs. Panyan, unfortunately, now I am in Padua at the courthouse and I have a hearing soon, so I can really talk. In any case, if you want a professional opinion, my advice is not to do anything. Don't say or do anything. Next week will be in Monselice. I can come over. We can talk about it with no rush. In the meantime, please, if you wish to protect your interests, don't move. Don't say or do anything.
Yes, but the separation? The divorce?
It would be best to wait for a week. No judge will rule in your favor at this particular moment. He was talking bullshit, and he knew it, but hoped that the woman would believe him, which would allow him to take time. At her age, it's important not to take any hasty decision. Good God, woman! Likely Mrs. Magnan bought it. They said goodbye, and he was finally out of the apartment, drenched in sweat. It was official now. a pile of shit of a day. He walked into the street and was greeted by a wave of blinding light. The sky was cloudless, the sun was shining bright. The university building persisted in looking like a sad inmate. The small eatery nearby blew whiffs of cooked meat. They started to roast their kebab early in the morning, and it would go on throughout the day. There was a steady line of students coming and going all day and all night. He had never tried a kebab. Now, in the summer months, the doors were constantly open, and some of the clients, shaken inside, curled up on one of the joint's tall stools, drinking a glass of beer while they cook. A young Arab sporting a white apron talked out loud and sliced slivers of meat off the slow-turning, oversized skewer. A cluster of Middle Eastern young girls puffed their cigarettes under the portico and followed his moves with keen yet unthreatening attention. One of these days, he thought, I'm going to walk in and give the kebab an honest try. It may even be good. The owner of the joint, a man around 60, with incandescent cool eyes and dark skin, who presided over the eatery 24/7, cordially greeted him, unfolding a toothless smile, saying nothing. Jacopo replied and checked to see if there was anything in the mailbox. And he was relieved to notice that his bike was still tied to the light pole. Then he took out the keys and untied it. Look, they're still there. After the whole night, they're still there. Hidden behind the curtain, she was leaning out with discretion to the balcony to see if the bikes were still there. Standing up on tiptoes, her white shirt lifted due to the movement of her arms, and he noticed she wasn't wearing any underwear. Thought, I must say, they look kinda pissed off. Our bikes, I mean. He stepped to her side and looked down. The bikes were tied together to the pole, but looked in opposite directions. She went on. Hell, they look pissed off for real. They don't even look to each other. But at least they're still there. She turned to him, lifted her chin almost imperceptibly, and he kissed her. She wrapped her arms around his neck and leaned dreamily onto his shoulders. Coffee's ready, said Jacopo, unwrapping her arms. She turned around, rested her back on the closed window glass, put her hands behind her back, and stood still, following his movements as he got breakfast ready for them. Jacopo mounted on his bike and pedaled hurriedly towards the courthouse. His cell phone rang again. It was Chiara.
Oh, I'm sorry, but are you coming?
Yes, Chiara, I'm on my way right now. His tie now was a bit too tight.
So you're on your way? Avvocato.
Yes, Chiara, I am on my bike. I will be there in 5. How did he ever pick this chick as intern in his firm?
Okay, so you will be here shortly.
Dumb, helplessly dumb. Yes, Chiara, unless I get hit because I'm pedaling like a madman in the middle of the road with a cell phone in my hand and a briefcase tucked under the bike rack.
Okay, sorry, there will be, then I'll be waiting here. If you're coming, then I'll be waiting, yes?
He repressed the urge to kill. Yes, wait for me, Chiara. You do that. He often told her about Chiara. She would laugh her head off, and he could hear the letter ring through the receiver, while from his office in Monselice he called her in the long afternoons of the past spring. During those long calls, he always felt he could just see her. She would lay down on the floor, lift her legs, and rest her heels heavily against the closet with a muffled thud. Every so often, her son would walk in her room, and she would exchange a few words, quickly liquidate him, and the kid would walk her out. So Jacopo would resume the tales of Chiara's latest feats or of his client's quirks, and she would go on laughing. Jacopo reached the cart house red-faced and sweaty. He tied his bike to a free pole, grabbed his briefcase, and walked in. He was accustomed to the vast, airy spaces of the cart house. White marble, oversized glass windows, indirect light that made everything luminous. He looked around distractedly and greeted a couple of dumb-ass colleagues. "Dumb-ass?" she asked. Dumb. Most of the lawyers in Padova are perfect dumb-asses." They had decided to meet inside the cart house. He had hurried downstairs to her and saw her standing there, wrapped in a tube skirt that gently hugged her round hips, high heels, and looking slightly lost, like she did every time she found herself in places full of unknown people. As soon as she saw him, her face illuminated in that broad, serene smile he liked so much, and she walked confidently and slowly towards him. She had kissed him softly on his cheek and said, "But I know a lot of people here. A lot of my old high school friends, a lot of avocado. This place is full of people that know me." Jacopo had replied that it didn't matter, as they were all dumb-asses anyway, had taken her under her arm and led her upstairs. As they walked in the elevator, they kissed. The elevator was busy. His cell phone rang. It was Chiara. A shit of a day. "Yes, Chiara, I'm the courthouse."
"Oh, avvocato, so you're in the courthouse?"
Her breathing revealed her clumsily hidden anxiety. "Yes, Chiara, I am the courthouse. I'm about to get in the elevator."
"Oh, you're about to get in the elevator."
"I will kill her. I'll get up there and kill her with my bare hands." "Yes, I'm getting in the elevator." He got up, irritated. The elevator was still busy. It was already 9:30. The judge should have summoned him already. That explained Chiara's anxiety fit. He turned around brusquely, swung the heavy iron door that opened to the stairway, and lunged up the stairs. By the time he reached the third floor, he was out of breath. "Here's a hell of a day, if you ever seen one." He found Chiara waiting in front of the elevator, looking the opposite way. "Here I am." Chiara gave a start, turned to face him, lowered her eyes, and greeted him. Then she handed him the document she was holding. Yes, Avvocato, good day. I was waiting for you." Jacopo grunted, took the fat bundle of documents, and headed down the partly lit corridor, crowded with people lining up outside count rooms for their turn to talk to a judge. "Really, Jacopo, what if somebody sees me? They will say you look beautiful today." Oh, stop that, she said, staring straight into his eyes, in that hazy glow that rolled between them. She held the papers for the work appointment she had afterwards tightly to her chest. Her iPod dangled indolently to her chest, headphones lazily swinging off her shoulders. Jacopo had blown a waft of warm air over her chest. She had moved away, trying to muffle her laughter, and, giving him a sideways glance, had said, "You're hopelessly insane, but I love you." Then she had spanned the hall in quick glances. "So, you lowers spent your day standing in line in this mayhem?" Jacopo gave a quick look around, then went back to fix his eyes on her, who was now whispering, so as not to be heard by the people around. "You never think that lowers spend their time standing in line before the closed doors of justice halls. A normal housewife wouldn't stand in line this long to buy a leg of ham. Is it always like this?" "Always." She got lost in Jacopo's blue eyes, said nothing, and smiled. Jacopo stood silent too, gazing deep into her eyes. Then she seemed to wake up from her daze, took a look around, and commented, "So we've got the whole crème de la crème of Padua up here, huh? All these women's lawyers decked up like they're going to a party. Look, high heels, skin-tight shirts, hair freshly done, designer bags, latest fashion jewels, power woman looking down at the world below. That's a hell of a word for a man." Jacopo had laughed with gusto. Chiara followed him with quick, small steps. Sorry, Avocado, I just wanted to tell you Mr. Lucentini called." "Such a nasty, nasty day." Jacopo took his place in line. All those women, fuming and haughty, a hell of a word for a man. The judge door was still shut. The toxic blend of feminine and masculine fragrances whirled in the busy hall where the air conditioning proved hardly in cooling the cluster of so many close bodies. The clasp of the tie and Lucentini, who called Chiara. He said he'll be waiting for you in Monselice at 12 noon. What? But I told you that. Chiara's eyes veiled with tears. She lowered her eyes, took a deep breath, and bartled out in one single breath. I know what you want to tell, but he called 3 times, and for 3 times I didn't pick up the phone, and when he called for the 4th time, I just picked up because it felt very rude, and he said that he'll be waiting for you there, and I said that I would talk about it with you, but he said that it was okay, he'd be waiting for you in the office at 12, and didn't say anything, just hanging up, that was that, and I didn't know what else to say, Avocado. Chiara, you were not supposed to pick up, damn it. You were not supposed to pick up. I told you not to. I don't even have my car. I know, Avocado, what you said, but you weren't then, and I... Fine, I'll take care of it. He stepped off the crowded corridor and dialed the car shop. A few seconds later, he was back, his expression as dark as ever. A shitty day at its best. Chiara, with her hair pulled in a sad ponytail, man-style blue shirt under a dark blue sweater, high-waist pants and long feet tucked in flat leather shoes, was entirely displaced, wedged in that hole, stuck behind the homely face. Haha, quite the Hellcat, our Chiara. I think she's totally in love with you. It's plain to see, poor Chiara, and you terrorize her. Me? Terrorize her? I am a softie. I even pay her. She looked deep into his eyes as she swayed back and forth in the leather chair across his desk, her legs crossed and feet planted on the ground, spinning the chair with her body, left and right, holding her head straight, looking intently at him. Her chest moved in sinuous waves, and he struggled to stay put on his chair on his own side of the desk. She was certainly well aware of it. He was not. Shift, silent, barefoot, I walk into the bright light of your office. The curtains pulled, tingling cool air, soft glow. I came closer and rest on your tights, straddling the chair. I hang on your neck and kiss it, then kiss your broad open forehead, unfold that little wrinkle, and plunge for a short moment to your mouth. Linger to look at it one moment more. Then I run away. Oh, now I feel relieved. Translation from Italian by Iris Cartia. Original music by Massimo Moretti for Maxmoremusic. Post-production editing by Gina Lee. All mistakes are mine. If you want to see pictures of making of and life in Italy, please follow me, Nina J. Course, on Instagram and LinkedIn.